Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Joelle is
My wishes,
speechless.
my body, my choice.
She is
Okay.
speechless. Is that the most unhinged request you've heard in your line of work?
It is absolutely the most unhinged request I've heard.
I win. I always do. Oh my God. Hi, friends. This is Wildly Unprepared, the show where I get to talk to the most incredible people I've never met and know absolutely nothing about. Like, literally nothing. It's all a complete mystery to me. I'm your unprepared host and new best friend, Tyler Mount. Each episode, myself and my other best friend, Ashley,
Hi, girls.
producer to the stars, aka me, gossip and kiki about life and talk to some of the most interesting people on the planet. I hope you're prepared because I'm certainly not.
Welcome to this day.
Hey,
Welcome to this day.
with Ashley and Tay Tay.
Oh.
I should have said with Ty Ty and Ashley. Try it again.
Okay.
6, 7, 8.
Welcome to this day.
Hey,
Welcome to this day.
Hey,
Welcome to
welcome
this.
to this day with Ty Ty and Ashley.
Hey. Should
Oh,
have
I
done
should
a
have said
slay.
Ashley.
I should have said
Oh,
slay.
I should have said Ashley and you should have said slay. One more time. 5,
6,
6, 7,
8. Welcome to this day.
Hey.
Welcome to this day.
Hey. Welcome to this day with Ty Ty and Ashley.
Slay.
Hey, girls. Welcome to the podcast. Another day, another dollar. I have to be honest. This is the earliest we have ever recorded this.
Truly.
It is 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern
Eastern.
Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Time, and 8 p.m. in Hong Kong. Welcome to the podcast. Another day, another single dollar. Ashley Andrabag, producer to the star. How we doing today?
I'm doing great. Technically have the day off, so that's always a win in my book.
Oh my God, a day off. You know, it's interesting. Some days I wake up feeling like I got hit by a train for no reason at all. Like yesterday, I could not function, probably because I had 4 margaritas. But the night before, not the morning of, right? That would be unhinged. Having 4 margaritas the night before, fine.
Could be some sort of wellness, juicing. There's something there.
Oh, a juicing.
There's something there.
It is a technically, it's a lime and agave smoothie.
Tequila, I feel like, has health benefits now.
Yeah, I bet it like lowers blood pressure.
Certainly.
I got my blood work done and liver and kidney enzymes, A+.
Oh my God, love.
Yeah. We're good. We're thriving over here.
What would you say you use those enzymes for exactly?
Breaking down alcohol and ibuprofen.
Okay, slay. Perfect.
Yes.
Need them.
I do both of those things regularly.
Okay, that's good.
I think they're interconnected. The more alcohol, the more ibuprofen. It's like a vicious cycle, but like,
and the
we
more
have to do what we have to do.
margaritas. So
and then the more
all
margaritas
comes together.
Yeah. It coalesces. Ashy, we have a lot to discuss.
Okay, lay it on me.
We are coming up on Ashley's surprise. Okay. So let me tell you about this.
Let's get some hints.
Well, I'm not going to give you hints. If you don't know this about me, listener, I love surprises. I'm like the surprise lady from SNL. I love surprises more than anything. And I have been planning a really good surprise for Ashley. I don't know. What would you say? For 30 days, 45 days?
I would
60
say
days?
I've known about it since before February.
Okay. And I'm really excited for this. We're 2 weeks away. I'm coming to New York. We're opening Jellicle Songs for Jellicle Cats on Broadway.
Ooh,
okay.
Slay.
We love it. So fun. Kate, our executive producer, will be there at Cats opening. And then the very next day.
I didn't get invited to that, listener.
You didn't get invited because you are out of town.
I know.
As if you wouldn't have been on the list.
And you still keep trying to ask me if I want to come. But I just wanted everyone to feel bad for me.
No problem. No one does.
My mom does, certainly.
Yeah, she does. She feels bad for you every day. So I am whisking Ashley away somewhere. Okay. She doesn't know anything other than the weather is similar to Seattle and she has to have her passport. And like, we're going to have a really good time. I know Ashley really well and like, she's going to have a good time. Okay.
I'm excited.
Ashley, any guesses? Like, where are we going potentially?
What
city? What state?
Well, the thing
What
that's throwing me
country?
off
What
is
continent?
when you told me about this, you were like, it's to do what we love to do. And as a joke, I was like, oh, eat steak and martinis. And you were like, yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah.
But then you said
I'm
it
not lying.
wasn't Spain, and it's not. I'm like, the only places I know that are like famous for
I
me.
didn't say it wasn't Spain.
You gave me a little like, but now are you saying it's Spain? Am I going to Spain 18
I
times
don't
this
know.
year now?
I don't know.
But
Well,
then it's
we
throwing
do
me
know.
off the Seattle weather because Spain isn't rainy right now. And I
Oh,
only know that
interesting.
because I'm going
Oh.
in May.
Well, we do know one thing, Ashley,
What?
which is that Sunday we're ending up in London.
Yes, I do know
Right?
that.
We do know that because I was nominated for the Olivier.
Woo!
And we have to like
And you're
go and
winning
wear a
it.
cute little tux.
Yeah.
Well, Ashley, you always say I'm gonna win, and I always do, except for this
The
year
one
with Tim's.
time.
Ugh.
But
Yeah, and it was fine.
it
was
is.
fine.
You have
Look,
too many for that year.
I'm not upset about it, but I am upset
right
about it.
Right.
I have
Because
too
you're not
many.
used to losing. We've
No,
never
I
done
just
that
need to be
before.
a man of the people. I
And
need to be
we
a
did it.
man of the people.
You were brave
Wait,
when you did it. You know,
Ashley, you didn't tell us what you think you're doing. Give me a guess.
I was talking about it, and then you started talking about yourself.
Oh, I love that. I would never do that though. You go ahead.
I know you've never done that. No, I'm
So
just.
one of my favorite things about me is my ability to connect with people.
I love that.
Okay, no. Tell us what you think
No,
you're
I'm
doing.
just saying like that. It's throwing me off, and I don't know where's like and you said I need a passport. You said to bring my passport, so I'm like,
Yeah, because we're
Scotland is
crossing the
raining
border.
abroad, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I gotta go to Scotland and eat a steak.
I don't know. Scotland is known for its kilts,
Cows.
bagpipes, and cows.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen.
You know what? Cancel the
Yeah.
trip. I was just there. I don't even need to go.
We don't even
You
need to
just
go.
transported me to Scotland.
I'll get a refund. I don't think I can get a refund
No.
on any of this shit.
No,
And I spent
no
far
one
too much
will ever
money
give
just
us
to
a
see your
refund.
face.
Yeah, the one thing I do ask is that there's no like filming or photos of me.
Wait, why?
It makes me uncomfortable. So
It makes you uncomfortable,
yeah,
and that's
so
why you do this
please,
podcast.
yeah, so please no photos when we do the surprise.
Okay, I can do that.
I'm
I
just
can manage
kidding. I
that.
figured
Yeah,
you
I'm
had a
gonna
whole
photograph
hoopla.
and video you the entire time.
I
I'm surprised
know.
I don't have a fucking videographer coming with us.
Don't do that unless
Okay,
they
so
can
paint the
make me look
picture.
like, you know.
Yep,
Yeah.
skinny face.
Okay, move. Okay, take the budget from the videographer and put it to a photoshopper, to an editor, to someone in post production. Okay.
Got it. But then we have nothing to put into post pro if we don't have someone to shoot.
No, you're gonna shoot.
Oh, got it. Okay, heard. You still haven't answered the question. Scotland?
I'm not giving a definitive guess. I'm just letting you know I'm like thrown off.
That's the goal.
I know it is, and
there
you
are
also
some
don't
things that
want
we
me
do
to
know.
know. So I
don't.
purposely don't think about it. I purposely don't
Okay,
try to guess
I love that.
because you want it to be a surprise.
We do know that you need a passport. We do know that the weather is similar to Seattle. What else do we know?
That's all I know. And it's close enough to London that when you got nominated, you were like, "Do we just add this on?" And I said, "Sure."
Yeah, can we just pop over?
And I don't
The good
think
news
you would
is in
say
Europe,
that if
you
we
can
were
get
in like
anywhere within 2
Texas.
hours.
Exactly. So we are going to Europe. Is basically what you just told me.
Yeah, potentially. But what I will tell you, if you think about it, we also know that you can get to this place from JFK. So that narrows it down.
Well, not really, because you can get anywhere from JFK.
Yeah, that was the joke, Ashley.
Oh, because I'm like, you could just have a layover.
That is true. And boy, do we.
Well, I don't do layovers.
Oh, okay. No problem. If you want, you can
I'll just
Venmo
stop
me.
there. I can't Venmo you. The whole point is
Okay.
it's free.
Yeah, it is free. Mama's gonna have to pay for a dinner or two, Ashley, but I got the flights and the hotels and the experience and
What's the experience is the surprise.
yeah, without question, right?
Yeah.
And we know that you love steak and martinis.
Right.
So like we're programming a good week. Anyway, on that note, the moral of the story is, Ashley, we're going to have a good time. And I can't wait for us to film a podcast after we go.
We should film a podcast there.
No.
On the plane. Let's vlog. Let's turn this into a vlog series.
I love that. Because I really just am excited and can't wait for your retelling of your vacation on the podcast.
You better hope it's good.
Girl, if I know anything about you, it's good. And
I'm going to start it off no matter what with this is how I learned Tyler doesn't know me.
That's good. Oh, it's so good. You know what else is really good? I'm imagining our guest today.
Really good, really good.
Okay. Ashley, tell me who we have today.
So today we are meeting with Joél, who is known as the Grave Woman. She's a sacred grief care practitioner, licensed funeral director and embalmer, award-winning educator and speaker who's dedicated to helping create and implement practices that honor diverse cultures and traditions.
We're talking to a mortician today?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, Joél? Okay, let's let Joél
bring her
in.
in.
Ashley, let's let her in.
Hi.
Oh my
How
God.
are you all doing?
Good.
God.
How are you?
We're so good. Good morning, Joél. We're bringing the energy this morning. Ashley and I were just
morning.
talking that, we typically don't film this early, but, girl, we're bringing the energy. Joél, welcome to the podcast.
You're bringing it. I love it.
Okay, see, we're here. Look, the title of the podcast tells it all. I learned about Joél 30 seconds ago. I had no idea who was coming, and I am so glad it's you. Joél, welcome to the podcast. Tell us a little bit about what you do. You're allegedly the Grave Woman. What in the absolute fuck does that mean?
That's so funny. What the absolute fuck does that mean? First of all, thank you for having me. I
Please,
am
of course.
so excited. So the Grave Woman is actually, it comes from a picture that I drew when I was 8 years old. I was sitting or laying on my grandmother's kitchen floor in this same house, and I used to talk to my ancestors and they would talk to me. I would talk to the dead and they would talk to me. And so I would draw the things that they showed me. And one of the things that they showed me was me standing in a cemetery with a microphone, and it says, "I am the Grave Woman." 8 years old. Okay. So fast forward to mortuary school, 2011.
Wait, stop. Joél, stop. Okay. That is that's a leap. Okay.
Right.
Wait,
She
okay,
said, so
stop.
from 8 years old, now I'm here.
You were like, I was in The Lion King and Mufasa was talking to me, and then I was embalming dead bodies. Okay, wait, one second. How did we get from this premonition, which I, for the record, am obsessed with, okay, to mortician school? Does this run in your family? It's a family lineage?
I have an uncle. My uncle Mark was a mortician. And so as a
Okay.
kid, I spent tons of time with him at the funeral home. And yeah, so I
Okay,
would
so
say
no one was freaked out when you drew this when you were 8 years old. They're like, okay, makes sense.
I wouldn't say they weren't freaked out. I think my parents were.
Okay, fair.
But my grandmother, thank God, was not.
Okay, we love her.
Yeah. So she encouraged my foolishness.
I love that.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed. Okay, so that gives me a little context. Okay, so we go to mortician school.
Yes.
Paint that picture. What does one do at mortician school?
Oh my gosh. In mortuary school, honestly, I don't want to say we learn how to become a funeral director, but we learn how to care for the bodies of the deceased in a respectable way that allows us to give people back the best parts of their loved ones.
That's beautiful. Ashley and I are inseparable, dysfunctional, absolutely codependent.
I know exactly
beyond
what you're about
belief.
to say.
And we've talked about our entire lives ensuring that we're in a shared coffin. So, Joél,
Well,
is
or
that
shared cremation we've talked about. Going into
can
the
we
incinerator
go in
together?
and you shake it up?
No?
That's not allowed.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what your family won't be able to do or your loved ones won't be able to do with your remains. However, as far as we're concerned, it's one person in the retort, which is the machine that you're put in to become cremated at a time. And there's no commingling. Commingling is against the law. Each
Oh, we have an
person,
issue.
animal has to be cremated individually. Have y'all not seen The Mortician and
I was
HB?
about to
I
say,
have not.
have you seen Ashley?
I've not.
This man was burning 15 people at once and just kind of giving the ashes back.
Well, we know who
and-
to call then.
Oh, that's
I
right.
don't think you can call. Well, he's not in jail anymore, so maybe.
I'm
One-time
sorry,
favor.
Joél, we are not
I
interested
wouldn't
in your
encourage that. I
services.
can't support that. I can't support that.
Joél
Okay,
does
but
not
what we could
publicly
do,
support it.
what we could
Yeah.
do,
Let's
what
hear.
if we got a surgery to infuse us like Siamese twins before we go? One person.
Wait,
Just saying,
Joél,
loophole.
that is a good question.
Loophole.
Okay, if a pair of Siamese twins die, okay, could you?
I've never been in that situation, but
You
Then
just
you're
might
not
be.
experienced, Joelle.
You might
You're
be one
not
day.
experienced.
stuck to this.
Okay, I'm sorry. We are totally unhinged and derailed. You understand the
This
type
is
of
why we don't
conversation
do this
we're
in the
about to have.
morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get it now. Oh
Okay,
God.
great. Okay, so we're in mortuary school. Continue.
So I'm in mortuary school and I actually start this blog called The Grave Woman, having no memory of this picture. Okay. And
Wait,
so
stop. I have to. You are giving us too many nuggets. Wait, you have at this point forgotten
yes,
about the photo. This is
yeah,
too good.
Ugh,
Okay,
I love
so we
this.
start the grave woman because it's a part of your spirit, soul, and inner being.
absolutely.
I love.
Um,
Keep going.
And so my sister and I are like cleaning out my apartment. I'm getting ready for graduation at this point, and I pull out, or she pulls out, this scrapbook that my grandmother gave me as a gift during or when I graduated high school, right? Now, mind you, I'm not 18, 19, 20 years old in mortuary school. I'm freaking 28, almost 30 years old, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And so we're going through this scrapbook and I find this picture and I about fall on the floor because it's like, do you see this? I just started this blog on Blogspot of all places, if anyone
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called The Grave Woman. So it's a self-fulfilling
I'm
prophecy. That's
obsessed with that.
and yeah, the rest is literally history.
That is unhinged in the best kind of way. I'm assuming you now have the photo in a prominent place.
Hopefully framed.
Actually, yes, I do. I was trying to see if it's over here or if it's in the other room, but I'll email it to you guys so
I
you can
need to see
Yeah.
this. Okay. So other than your I'll say propensity to be, I'll say, antiquated with the idea of heritage and ancestry and death, not in a negative way, but like the beauty of death and respecting those who pass, right? Um, what about this? Call it like practice, trade, or art is so appealing to you because we can agree this is super uncommon. That's one reason you're here. And let's be honest, it probably freaks a lot of people out more than people who are like, oh, this is my calling. Because death is scary.
Um, it can be. Honestly, no, people are more curious than freaked out.
Hmm.
But the thing I think for me personally, I think it's different for everyone, but for me personally, I'm ADHD or ADD, right? And so I'm into so many different things from business to hair to makeup to history to being an empath to spirituality, like all the things, like it perfectly packages all my crazy
I
and
was about like,
allows
this
to
is literally perfect.
yes,
You're going to
yes.
do hair, makeup, ancestry, history. You are an empath. You have to like navigate highly complex emotions a lot of the times when families are grieving and having literally the worst week of their life. That's when they meet you. How is it like navigating an industry and a trade that is so deeply surrounding grief and sorrow and sadness?
It's a lot different now than it was when I first started, to be honest, because I don't work in the funeral home full time
Hmm.
anymore. Um, for me, it's more so I get to teach others how to create capacity within themselves. And that capacity can be whether it's cultural knowledge, like expanding that container, or whether it's self-care, expanding that container, finding balance, speaking up for yourself, calling out the bullshit. So for me, it's very fulfilling at this point. Earlier on in my career, it was heavy because I didn't know how to hold all of that energy within myself. So it's
Mhm.
been a great teacher as well. But when it was heavy, it wasn't good for me. And I don't think that I showed up in maybe the best ways possible before learning how to regulate myself to hold that.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room,
Okay.
which is this idea of death.
Okay.
Okay, let's go here.
Okay.
Death is not everyone's, but a lot of people's like biggest fear, right?
Hmm.
The unknown. There is no definitive proof, right, of what happens afterwards, I guess technically.
Right.
Um, and that's where faith comes in, quite literally the belief in something bigger than yourself that you can never prove, which I love the concept of. For people listening, or like myself, who constantly thinks he has a terminal disease, like quite literally, I could tell you my terminal disease today. Um, I, I think your vantage point on what death is and death means and what you personally believe happens after death of the human body would be a really interesting exploration. So, walk us through what death is to you and what you believe happens whenever we on earth in this human vessel die.
Absolutely. Are you guys familiar with Abraham Hicks?
Oh, I love Abraham Hicks.
Um,
Please. I have like a high frequency tattoo. So like I'm ready to
okay.
go. Like I'm
And
ready to go. Explain everyone to everyone listening who isn't obsessed with Abraham, um, who they are.
okay, so I can't remember their vessel's name right now, but Abraham Hicks is a agreed upon universal consciousness that flows through whatever their vessel's name is. Forgive me, I can't remember her name.
Got it.
And
So to
she
interrupt really quickly, Joelle, there is a woman, okay, who embodies this, we'll call it what, Joelle, like a higher
a
being
consciousness.
that we refer to colloquially as Abraham Hicks, right? Go
Absolutely.
ahead, Joelle. Go ahead.
Absolutely eloquently said.
Yes.
Well, if you are familiar with Abraham Hicks, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Sybil, who inspired that woman to open herself up. So research Sybil.
Okay.
Um, Sybil talks about in one of her publications the fact that we are constantly dying, like our cells are constantly dying off and being regenerated. Time is constantly passing away in front of us, and death is not this big moment that happens all of a sudden. It is something that happens from the time we are born or alive in this realm until we exit completely. Okay.
Mm.
I resonate with that as being true just based on what I learned about biology and chemistry and anatomy in mortuary school. So that's my scientific answer. Personally, I really don't have a definition for death, to be honest. Yes, it in our perceptions is when someone that we love or know is no longer physically here. But for me, death does not end life because
Mm.
it's so much bigger than our physical essence.
Mhm.
And so to answer the question, what happens after death? I believe that that essence expands beyond what it is physically capable of experiencing here in the 3D.
Being trapped in a physical body within the 3D. This is so ethereal and such a
I
mind
know.
fuck at 8 a.m. in like the best kind of
I
way.
know, I'm having, like,
Um,
every, like, crisis I could possibly have right now
yeah,
thinking about,
I'm
like,
having a
life
mental,
beyond. But I
crisis.
could also listen to you just talk all day. I'm like, "Tell me more."
Okay. So I love this conversation of Abraham Hicks. Her vessel's name is Esther. I'm remembering.
Esther, okay,
Yeah, it's
thank you.
Esther Hicks, right? And I love that hippy dippy. We have to agree, Esther. I'm sorry, I'm calling you Esther. Oh my God, premonition. What if you were Esther Hicks? Oh my God, I'm getting so befuzzled. My microphone went away. I love that hippy dippy shit. We have to agree, Joelle. That's some hippy dippy, okay? But I couldn't believe more. But let's go a step deeper, right? Because I have to agree with you. Like, I'm not like a devoutly religious person by any means, but I also don't think we are going to a physical place that is in the clouds with a real golden gate that Gabriel, is that who's waiting for us potentially? Peter? Who's the doorman? Oh,
I
it's
don't
Peter. It's a Peter at the gate. Peter at the gate. Okay. The doorman to heaven. Okay, I'll bring my ID, bitch. I'll remember, right? The moral of the story is like I just think like our ability to consciously perceive what death is impossible,
Yep.
right? And so, oh my God, I'm having an existential crisis.
Truly.
I don't think it is us going to a cartoon that we imagine as heaven, but I also don't think it is the same as going to sleep and having absolutely no consciousness,
Nope.
Mm-mm.
right?
Nope.
And I think your learned and shared and lived experience, Joelle, specifically your ability to feel, communicate, whatever word you like to use to describe you as a young child talking to your ancestors, I think is kind of living, breathing proof of that. Right?
I'm also like, can
Ashley,
we
go.
go back there for a minute?
Yeah.
Is that still happening? Do you still like kind of feel the other side a little bit? Oh
Absolutely.
my God, I'm so obsessed with that. I like, this is my favorite stuff in the world.
Ashley. Okay, wait.
This is
Joelle, this is a hot take, okay? But we recently interviewed someone who was like a hoax and psychic skeptic, okay? Which was a really interesting conversation. Now, I would never put the two of you in a room together because I am much more, well, I would, but she is so like, she would be like, Joelle is lying and Joelle is fake, okay? And you would be like, bitch, no, I'm not lying.
But I'm there being like, I deeply believe in this. And she's like, she was like, oh, you poor girl. And I was like, but here's the thing. I'm like, I do believe that she is finding like people who are conning people because we know that there are con artists in every field. But I'm like, just because someone's preying on women in that way does not mean that does not exist, in the same way that if someone is a financial advisor, con artist, preying on a woman whose husband just died, is rich, cheats her out of her money, we now say the whole financial industry is fake. I'm like, her logic just was not vibing with me. I was like, man.
I was like, Ashley was not vibing. And I was like, I am glad Joelle is here.
I know. And I'm like, now Joelle understands me. Thank God.
Can you paint that picture, right? Because like I always imagine like the 1999 TV series Touched by an Angel where like Monica comes down and she has the backlight and she's like, Joelle, I am the angel, right? Obviously, we know it's not that like physically present, but like, can you tell us even at 8 or today when you have a consciousness of the other side or of previous generations, what does that look like, feel like, sound like, in the best way that you can describe it here on Earth to people who don't have that gift?
It's not dramatic. I think for some people it may be, but for me it's not. And it's not always like I'm like walking through the grocery store and it's like, you need to tell them their grandma said da 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 da. It's not, that's not my lane. Like it may be not mine. For me, it could be as simple as, I'm trying to think of the last time it happened. Yesterday, I was driving and I talked about my uncle who was a mortician. I was praying and, talking to the God and water, or God and the water, about things on my walk. And my heart was feeling a little bit heavy. I got in the car to drive wherever I was going. And what's the decal? Is that called a decal? That thing that you put on the back of the rearview window? Sometimes it's like a thinly. There was a decal on the car in front of me in traffic that was passing by, and it said Bubby. That was the name that I called my uncle, Uncle Bubby, or Uncle Booby.
Wait,
Joelle, you're gonna lose your mind.
You're gonna lose your mind, Joelle. You're gonna lose your mind. Ashley and my nickname for each other is Bubby.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So this is how it works. This is how it happens. It's a connection.
When I tell you, I am not kidding. Our group chat is called Bubbies. Like dead ass. Every morning I call her. I'm like, hi, Bubby. And she'll be like, hi, Bubby. Or vice versa, because she's sleeping or I'm sleeping. Like, I cannot make that up. Whenever I recently moved from New York City, and our last meal that we went to together was at Bubby's.
Yeah, we were like, we have to close this out full circle.
Bubby's.
Here we go. I'm trying to show you. This was it. Can you see it?
Let's see. 1 second. Let's get it to focus.
Oh, stop!
That is
Oh my God! Wait, Joelle, you got to come to New York. We got to go to Bubby's. You can get a T-shirt.
Have you been to Bubby's, the restaurant?
No.
It's delicious pancakes. There's breakfast too, but they're not making it.
I'm not. 1 second. Will it focus? Look, I'm not making it up. Our tracking app is even called Bubby's.
Bubby's.
I'm not lying to you.
Literally, I could not explain it any better than what just happened.
Wow. Okay.
I'm obsessed with that. For you, is it normally just like your family coming through, or do you ever have like an instance where, I'm thinking of like mediums who like do this for a living where like someone's energy is also like bringing along their
Yeah,
ancestry. It
it
does.
happened. I can't say it happens as often. When it happens, a lot of times it's a message needs to be delivered or something needs to be said to
Mhm.
someone in, I'll use your word, a crisis. And it that feels a lot different. That feels urgent. That does feel dramatic for me
Mhm.
because it's like, I don't know this person. I don't, you know, whatever. And if I don't, it gets more dramatic and more loud. And then I feel guilt because I know I should have said something. Another way that it comes through for me, I don't want to say unfortunately, but when someone's about to pass away that is either close to me or connected to someone that is close to me, I get what's called my friend Jane Asher. You guys would love her.
Hmm.
Um, she wrote a book called The Next Room, where
Ooh.
she and her mother who passed away co-authored the book together. So
Oh, I
Oh, I
love
need
that,
to read that
Steve.
gotta-
immediately.
you love her. She named it. She called it My Grave Woman Tingle. But I get this heavy feeling. The best way I can describe it is like being inside of a glass bottle full of water. I'm in the bottle and every life is happening around me, but I can't. I'm numb
Mhm.
because I'm in a glass bottle in the water. Um,
She's like, I feel it right now with the two of you.
no.
She's
And
like,
She's like,
normally
"It's
say your
very
goodbye.
similar."
say your goodbyes. No. I never really know who it's going to be. It happened last week actually,
Oh.
and it happened Thursday, and a family member passed away Sunday night.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I appreciate it, but that's also how it comes through.
Oh my god. I could imagine then too. I mean, I know you said working in the
Heavy.
funeral home was, like, a lot. Like, if you also like, if families could be bringing that along with them too, I could imagine it's, like, very heavy. Like, that's an additional, like, element there now.
Honestly, with the families, not I won't say that it's not heavy. The thing that made it heavy for me was the lack of balance and the lack of boundaries
Mm.
because funeral directors in most cases have the servant's heart. And so, especially in moments of grief, we're trying to do as much as we can to comfort, to give,
Right.
and then not having the time to rest or pour into ourselves, specifically myself, was what made it feel so heavy. To be honest with you, working with the families is the best part of the job. Or
Oh, that's
Hmm.
working
good.
the people that love the back of the house in the embalming room would say working with the dead is the best part of
Yeah.
the job.
That is wild. Joelle, I'm going to coach you for a hot second.
Ooh.
You know what I've
Okay.
learned in life? Okay. And you've obviously learned this now that oftentimes someone with a servant heart or someone who is a giver or a service provider in general, oftentimes obviously pours from their cup. And you've heard like the metaphor that if your cup's empty, how can you keep pouring? Right. But I really look at it as like you, Joelle, I, Tyler, you, Ashley, are the product, right? And a company or your own business, right, hires you or employs you, or you have clients that depend on you. But if we don't first prioritize ourselves to be the best that we can be, to be the most giving that we can be, we can't show for the other people in our lives that are either in our lives or about to come into our lives. And so through a long series of years of me being completely burned out, I started to learn that pouring into yourself is actually and ironically the biggest source of selflessness as long as you take that energy and give it back, right? So I love this idea of boundaries. We're having a deep conversation, Joelle. Okay. Like I love this idea of boundaries and like how cool for you to be like, no, I'm recognizing that this isn't my higher purpose and calling, this specific lane within this industry. So now my question is, if you're not working at a funeral home, what does your day to day look like? What does Joelle spend her time doing? I know it's like education and this persona of the grave woman, but like, what does that look like? I'm curious what your day to day looks like.
Right now, my day to day looks like expressing my creativity in as many ways as I can imagine. For example, when you popped on, I was sitting here working on my latest social media installment, which is entitled Black End of Life, Death, and Grief
Mm,
Folklore, where I'm going to talk about these things, the spiritual woo woo specific to Black culture. Um, It looks like doing pre-need seminars in various community settings, whether they be assisted living homes, which sounds so predatory, I promise it's not.
We don't
Um,
find you
Yeah,
predatory, I
I'm like,
promise.
Senior
We're good.
centers. I work with a funeral home here in Beaufort, South Carolina, and another in Myrtle Beach to facilitate their pre-need. Um, it looks like traveling and speaking at conferences and doing in-person trainings for funeral directors, death doulas, and medical teams. It looks like helping be a caregiver for my 89-year-old grandmother
Oh,
and
how
helping my
lovely.
mom. It looks like supporting my bonus mom through her breast cancer journey and being there for her and my dad. So I feel like my life is a lot more balanced, and it looks like spending a hell of a lot of time in nature doing absolutely nothing, to be honest
I
with you.
love that.
I'm
Oh.
on my way.
Yes, come
Joelle,
on,
you and I,
come down.
girl, we'd have so much fun. I want to explore this cultural component, right?
Okay.
Because as a side note, I produce a lot of shows on Broadway, and I think that at least the shows that I try to produce a because I like them, but I think there's like an inherent. Oh God, we're going very deep. I think there's like an inherent issue on Broadway, right? Because if a producer is at the highest level of the pyramid in terms of like they choose the lens in which the story is told. Okay.
Mhm.
I think if every single producer, or the majority of producers, are older white men, we have an issue, right? And so my work on Broadway really is centered around what are the stories that aren't necessarily always told, and how can we ensure that the lens in which those stories are told are being authentic? For example, if we produce The Color Purple, I'm not saying a white man can't direct it. The most recent revival was directed by a white man. It won the Tony. I'm not saying it wasn't good, but we can agree the lens in which that story is directed and told is directly impacted by the director's learned, shared, and lived experience. Okay. Which we can agree is different from a white man to a person of color whose story we're telling.
It
The
ain't
thing that,
sneaky perspective.
right? I mean, like, come on. And so what I love is that you are taking one of the most common topics on earth, right? Which we all will experience, whether we want to or not, we will experience death. Okay. And making it more culturally relevant in like a really profound and beautiful way to a community that is oftentimes underserved in many areas, right? So walk me through your calling to service this specific community, and outside of the obvious, like why is that important to you, and how does your work aim to impact a specific community? Does that make sense, my question?
It absolutely does. And forgive me if I'm long-winded here, but I
Please.
think it's important to address every aspect of your question, right?
Yes.
So let's start with my lens. I am a black woman from Beaufort, South Carolina, who happens to be of Gullah Geechee cultural descent and familial lineage, right? 100%. Okay. So I did not realize how important that piece of the puzzle was until relatively recently. When I was in mortuary school, the things that we didn't learn were how to care for skin complexions like mine, like Ashley's, but we did learn how to care for skin complexions like Tyler. We didn't learn how to care for natural hair. I didn't realize how important that was until I witnessed how white embalmers, unbeknownst to them, were making horrible mistakes that would be painful for families to witness or horrific and dehumanizing for the decedents if they were alive. Example, I tell the story all the time. I walked into the embalming room, seasoned white embalmer cutting off a woman's box braids at the root,
Stop.
cutting off all her hair, maiming her. Okay. So my work around culture doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to give you a history lesson. It means when someone entrusts their loved one into your care, your funeral home's care, your business's care, you have poured, using your example, you have poured enough cultural knowledge to know that you don't take a pair of scissors and cut someone's braids off. They don't come
Mhm.
off, they come out. How do we expand that knowledge? How do we have conversations with families about hair, about skin complexion, about makeup, about restorative art, about what options or rituals may be important? And so I feel as if this is important because, like you just said, we all die. The lens that the education system has been seen through has been the white lens. And so what I'm trying to do is break that up. And it's working. The American Board of Funeral Service Education is making some changes that are important. I'm not the only one out there having this conversation. There's so many people like Alua Author, Amaya King, Ashley Johnson, Edwin Jackson that are having these conversations. And I think the shared goal is to expand that lens and maybe put voices and experiences in that producer seat that haven't had the power to shift the narrative or shift the education or shift the experience of professionals in the past.
That is huge because I mean, like, this is so obvious, Joelle, but the I think I'm like, this is so obvious, but like, if you can't care for all humans because all humans are equal in their ability and their future of death, then that just means you're not capable of doing the job fully, right? If I can only care to the level of degree and respect and cultural understanding for Caucasians, right? That means I have a huge issue, right?
Yeah.
And your vantage point is like so profoundly obvious, and the fact that like I know it's frustrating, I imagine, right? That we have to have these conversations even in
Mhm.
today's world. But the fact that you have a consciousness about it and you're called to have these conversations quite literally are changing the world. Not to be dramatic, but I'm like,
You are.
I hope you get
They
that.
are. They are. And I'm going to tell you, Tyler, you're absolutely correct. And do you know what really pulled the rose-colored glasses off?
Hmm.
COVID.
Mm.
Because historically, certain communities would go to certain firms because they knew that their loved ones would be taken care of a certain way. They'd be
Mhm.
able to exercise their rituals a certain way. The first question we ask in the Black community is who got the body? And we ask that question because we want to know, how is this person going to look when we see them? If they're going to so and so down the street, they may look a little crazy. So let me prepare for them. If they're going to this firm, oh, I know that hair is going to be laid, that
Yeah.
makeup is going to be on point,
Mhm.
going to lay this person out, literally and figuratively, right? COVID snatched all of that away because people did not have that option. People were dying at such a rapid rate. And honestly, our industry as a whole was not ready for that because we weren't using things that we should have, like DocuSign or virtual funerals or
Mhm.
live streaming and things like that. And so it was the timing of the universe, like just perfect timing, the divine timing, where these conversations were being had by myself and other on social media. Things were being exposed, people were sharing their experiences and stories, and the industry had to look for solutions. So that is probably why I'm here sitting with you wonderful people today. Had it not
I
been for COVID, I'm not sure that these changes would be happening as rapidly.
And obviously not thank God for COVID, but thank God for you being a conduit during COVID. I mean, like,
Absolutely. Thank God.
Mhm.
Ashley knows I had very bad timing. I moved to downtown New York financial district right before COVID. Okay. I had lived in New York City for like a decade at this point. Like, I didn't move to New York, but I had relocated. Literally, what, Ashley, 4 months
Yeah.
before COVID struck, my apartment building in downtown Manhattan backed up to the hospital. And in New York, the only way you were allowed outside, okay, because we had probably the most stringent, strict restrictions. We were
Mhm.
like literally barred from going outside. Unless you were going to the grocery store, the bank, or the pharmacy, or the doctor, we were not allowed outside. The exception was not even for outdoor exercise, it was for to walk, it was walking your dog. And I got Henry. I don't know where Henry is. He's sleeping somewhere here right now. On March 13th, 2020, which was the day we went into lockdown.
Mhm.
And so I had the ability to and the awful requirement to go outside. And Joelle, seeing the 18-wheeler parked, do you remember this, Ashley? Parked outside of the back loading bay dock where I would walk Henry every morning. And these, for a lack of a better word, unemployed interns who literally were like, I have to make money, would haul body bags into this freezer truck every
Mhm.
morning. And the way that I was like, look, I am I'm very privileged and blessed to not have to have grown up in a worn torn environment where like that is normal. But like even seeing the way that these people were, I'm using big quotation marks here for those listening, caring for these corpses that they were literally throwing into this into this 18-wheeler, I'm like, that's someone's loved one,
Mm-hmm.
right? And your same thing about like, we don't cut braids off, we take them out, right? We care for hair in a certain way culturally. I was like, if forget the decedent, right? But if the family of the deceased knew this is how this was happening, they would be horrified,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And you are literally doing the Lord's work, right? And making such impact on an industry that everyone will use, yet we think very little about, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone will,
Yeah.
every single person listening to this will use your services or someone who does what you do's services
Absolutely.
because it's required by
They
law.
have to. They have to.
Yeah. And fully never think about it. I've never thought about any of this. I mean, granted, like COVID, yes, seeing the bodies like being pulled out of U-Hauls was insane. That's probably the first time I ever even thought about that. I'm like, what are we doing? It's so dehumanizing. But yeah, I'm just like, this is so crazy.
Yes, aesthetically dehumanizing, and aesthetics is a big part of death care. Like that's
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
things look like, what they smell like, what they feel like when you walk in, all of those things, right? Um, However, I have to say in defense of my industry
Mhm.
that, and when I say my industry, I'm not just talking about funeral service, I'm talking about the end of life part as well, the medical people, the death doulas. The way that we came together during that time and navigated through COVID is astonishing.
Oh, I can't
Mm.
even imagine. You guys probably woke up and were like, what do we do?
What do we
We
do?
can't even go
Um,
outside. What do we do?
Absolutely. At that time, I was also working for Emory University part-time, and I could go conspiracy theories here, but I'm not.
Hit
Why
me with
not?
it. Hit me
Let's
with it.
go.
Do it. Do it. Do
She's like,
it.
I'm not getting sued for defamation. Okay, go ahead.
Right,
Go ahead.
exactly.
Go
I
ahead.
have too much to lose.
Yeah,
But,
we
um
all do.
right. So, like, we'll have that conversation offline. But, um, I will say that there was COVID was horrible. I don't wanna not be sensitive to that. But as professionals, we're taught to deal with a lot worse
Oh, yeah,
compared
I
to
can imagine.
out there. COVID and what's possible, COVID's here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, in the event that there is another world event as
Mass casualty is what she's politely
Yeah.
saying.
the event like COVID or greater, I don't necessarily think we're going to see the same procedures that were used during COVID because it was, in my opinion, the wake up call
Mm.
that we as humans needed on a conscious level, but also various industries needed as well. I think here in this country in particular, we're very comfortable. Um, and around death care in particular, cultural expression around death differs greatly than other places in the world. For example, um, in some places, people are literally put into towers that are designed for them to decompose
Mhm.
naturally. That looks to some as dehumanizing and horrible, but for others, it's like, oh my gosh, this is our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the response to COVID here in the United States was what our culture represents.
That
So
is so interesting.
I'm floored. Okay, um, I want to end today with a hot, juicy question that I have been dying to ask. No pun intended. Okay, that I've been absolutely dying to ask. I didn't do that
Yeah.
on purpose, but I am inherently funny. Okay,
Yes, you are.
this is like having a fashion designer on and asking their favorite designer. Okay, I'm not going to ask you
I'm
your
like
favorite
scared of
funeral
where this
home.
is going. I'm like,
No.
you're like favorite way to like.
No.
Funeral director.
No. As the grave woman, I have a two-part question. Number one, knowing you don't have a say over, okay? But in an ideal world, someone who is very close to death and understands it intimately and deeply, if you could choose, knowing the first part you can't choose, how would you and when would you like to die? And how would you like your aftercare to look like? What does your
Ooh.
funeral look like? And when do you die and how do you die, Joelle?
How do I die when I am empty of everything that I have been put on this earth to do? Whether that's tomorrow or whether that is 100 years from now, I'm okay with. So how?
Oh.
That when I'm empty. Um, what does my funeral look like? My funeral looks very naturescape. I would love, I'm leaning more towards cremation right now, but I would love if I haven't already, for those that love me, whether they be children that I'll have in the future, my spouse, my family as they exist now, to visit all of the national parks and scatter a little bit of me everywhere.
Oh, I
'Cause I'm a
love
natural
that.
junkie. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Have you told someone this or do I need to
Yeah, I'm
send an
like, do we
email?
need to tell
I
the
think you need
people?
to send an email. I think my
Okay.
sister knows. My sister knows.
Okay. So I love that answer. When my vessel here is empty and my job is complete, and something higher than us knows when that time is, right? Oh my God. Ashley and I want to die a la the notebook in a hospital bed holding hands, and then right into the furnace we go. And we learned today that Joelle says that's not allowed.
But we found a
You can be in
loophole.
you can be in, furnaces that are next to each other.
Uh,
It's
oh,
like
that's just not
far.
going
It's
to
just
cut
so
it.
It's
far.
hard.
Okay, but look, it is legal for Joelle to have us cremated in separate
Mhm.
crematorium things and then
Yeah,
taken
reports.
out and
What if
separated
our
and given
hands
to
were
a family.
joined going across? You know, we're just
Oh, that's
holding
true.
hands.
We're holding hands and then like they get separated as we go in. Okay, we're getting really morbid. Okay. But
Too
then
far. Too far.
there is there a law against once you as the provider deliver the ashes legally and separately, you can't stop a family member from putting us in the Vitamix.
Once you sign that custody form that you've taken custody of your loved one and they are no longer in my care, I don't care what you do.
We don't
Oh,
care.
wait. I have a question. I don't know
Yes.
why I just thought about it, but I kind of joke with my mom that I'm always going to turn her ashes into a diamond. What is your
Yeah.
take on that?
I think it's
Have you done
beautiful.
it before?
I have not done
Okay.
it, but I do, I don't wanna say I know her personally, but I've met the young lady virtually who started that company, and I think it's genius and such a beautiful option. I plan on doing the same with my
Yeah,
mother.
I'm obsessed with that. I'm like, I could wear you all the time.
Stop. I love that. That's
Because I'm like,
beautiful.
she does want to be cremated. And I'm like, yeah, I could put your ashes somewhere, but I want you like with me.
Here.
And I want to also I think sometimes just and I'm sorry if I'm going over time.
You're
A lot
not
of
going
people
over time. We could do this
um,
all day.
Yeah, I'm like, please.
a lot of people think, that when they turn their loved one's ashes into something, that a lot of times it takes up all of them. Um, from what I know and have been told about different disposition methods with ashes, whether it be a space burial, turning into a diamond, some people have turned their loved ones into fireworks, into CDs or records, just so many different options. They take what's called a symbolic portion, which may be very small to mediocre. It's
Mhm.
not always the entire amount of ashes.
And you can save someone in case you're like drunk at a bar and you lose it. Which I know I'm worried
Yeah.
about with Ashley. I was like,
Mm.
oh God, I hope they don't use everything. 'Cause
Yeah,
Will's
we're
gonna
gonna
lose
have to
it.
make like a second one.
We're gonna have to make a second one.
I'm like, also, you just listed so many different options I never even thought of. Space burial? Burial?
Yes. I'll have to send you a video. There's a company called Celestis, and they literally strap symbolic amounts of ashes to rocket ships and send you either completely out of space forever, to the moon and back, or just up and out of the atmosphere. I had the opportunity to witness this firsthand and get footage in
Wow.
September of 2018. It was the best funeral or memorial I've ever attended in my life. Picture New Mexico, white sands desert, um, mountainside, bleachers in the middle of the desert, food truck, cheering. Like, I'll send you guys the video so
Now
you can
that
see.
is
That
a
is wild.
celebration of life. That's what
Absolutely.
I want. I need a
countdown. 10,
celebration.
9, 8, 7, blast off. Like, it was
That
amazing.
is fun. I want to be a rocket ship. I want to be a vinyl. I want to be a diamond.
Do
I
it
want to
all.
be in
Well,
someone's
we
chain.
can.
Coral Reef. There's a
Oh,
company
I want to be a
part of the
coral reef.
Coral Reef. Yeah. There's so many.
Wow.
Oh my God. I want,
Seems like
I've
the
always
limit,
said,
like there's no limit.
There
well,
isn't.
there isn't. And it's all symbolic,
Yeah.
right? Portions. I am not joking. I absolutely want Elphaba at the end of Act 1 on
Lord.
Broadway in Wicked to scream ooh-ah and scatter my ashes without telling the cast. And so they're like down and it goes all in their mouth. I also think that would be
God.
fun.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Joelle is
My wishes, my body,
speechless.
my choice.
She is
Okay.
speechless. Is that the most unhinged request you've heard in your line of work?
It is absolutely the most unhinged request I've heard.
I win.
The
I
part
always
about
do.
the mouth.
Yeah, I was
Ugh.
like the mouths.
Yeah.
Why are
I
you
wanna
doing that
be-
to people?
They're all my new vessels. Oh my God, I have to stop. I have to stop. Joelle, it has been so good waking up with you this morning.
Oh.
I hope we gave you a little cheer, a little energy this morning. And I'm so glad that you were here to demystify something that oftentimes people find so scary. You were kind, you were generous, you're sweet. And as someone who like loves vibes, I'm like, Joelle is my vibe.
Yes.
Like, I want Joelle strapping me to a fucking rocket ship and throwing me up to Mars.
Immediately.
I'm like, let's go
Pre-death.
right
Let's
now.
just do it.
Joelle, before you leave, if people want to find out more about you and the Grave Woman, where do we find you? Where do we hang out with you online?
Everywhere. I'm everywhere as the Grave Woman. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, website, The Grave Woman, thegravewoman@gmail.com. I might need to get that number, 1-800-GRAVE-WOMAN.
Ooh,
Oh my God.
immediately.
Remember those
Call-
800 numbers?
Yes.
Of course, like Miss
Wow.
Cleo, call
Yeah.
1-800-GRAVE-WOMAN.
Right.
I love it. Joelle, thank you so much for being with us here today. My day and my week and my month and my understanding about death is so much better because of you, and the work you're doing is changing lives and deaths, quite literally. Thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ashley,
That was actually one of my favorite.
can I tell you, I think that
Favorites.
was my favorite episode.
It's something I never think about. I honestly
am
wish we had
floored.
another hour because I'm like, wait, we need to go through all of the options. I had no idea those were options. Space,
I'm like,
coral
I'm
reefs,
I am over here.
small-minded with my
absolutely-
diamond.
Yeah, you're so small-minded. I'm over here, like behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
All of our guests have been fantastic.
Of
Okay?
course.
I mean, like truly, like I have the best time on the show. But like sometimes I'm like, I don't know the next question. And Kate, our producer, will kind of help with some
Yeah.
live
That
prompting
chat was
in our
dead
ears.
because we were go, go, go. You were asking really good questions. Like I just wanted to hear what she had to say. I was like,
I love this.
Like I was too stunned to speak.
I'm
I'm-
gonna ask GPT, what is every single way that you can use your loved one's ashes? Diamonds, rocket ship, coral reef, etc.
Mm,
The most unhinged, the better. You know what I mean?
amen, sister.
Let's see what GPT has to tell us, because I was like, I want to be pressed into a record. I want to be on a rocket ship. Why can't I do it all?
Right. Just make a bucket list for your ashes. You
You know what? Put it on my credit card
Yeah.
and then expense the debt. Like call the
exactly.
credit card company. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fireworks, the space launch, the reef in the ocean, a hot air balloon scattering in Africa.
Specifically, you could only do it in Africa.
That's true. There's a company that will load your ashes into a custom cannon or big pyrotechnic shell and blast it
That's what I
over
want.
your favorite party.
That's what I want. At a Beyonce concert, though.
Oh my God. Again, without telling people, everyone's like, single ladies! And your dead carcass is going into their
I want it more
mouth.
going into the air. I don't want to be like eaten by people, you know? Like I don't want to be ingested by them.
And then, oh my God, and then you'd be pooped out, and then you would live in the
it's like a
septic,
whole
in the
thing.
sewer. It's an emphasis on whole.
Or is it just where I
Um,
belong? I don't know.
That in the septic tanks
Yeah.
of the world. You could do blown glass jewelry.
Ooh.
You can be put into a sun catcher. Your ashes could be made into a picture frame that houses a photo of you. Marbles. Okay, Ashley.
Okay.
Oh, wait, this is wild. You would actually love this, Ashley.
Hit me with that.
Like your mom is a diamond, but there's also a company that will make custom tattoo ink that you can give to your tattooist.
You're
and they
joking.
No.
Oh my God, I'm
Mix
doing
a
that
tiny
to my
amount
mother
of
too.
sterile
this poor woman.
ashless. Vinyl records, audio keepsake urns, design urns and art pieces that also store an audio recording. That's kind of boring. A tree urn that grows a tree.
Oh, I meant to bring that up. I do like that concept where people are like, you could make graveyards like gardens. If instead of
Yeah.
like the headstone, it'd be like a tree and you could put like a nice bench or like a little plaque on it, and then we'd be saving the world a little.
Oh, a candle urn.
Mm.
Ashes housed under a candle art piece so you light them on special occasions, giving new meaning to let's get lit with grandpa.
I
Oh my
hate you.
God. You can get made into a set of dice if you love
Mm.
playing dice. A keychain.
Oh my God, we should get made into like chips at the casino. So we're constantly playing. Or
So
the roulette ball. So we're constantly
playing, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine instead of putting 100 on black, I put Ashley on black?
No, like we have to do this.
We have to do this. And then it says a traditional urn. I'm like, okay,
boring.
Great. Boring.
Wait, no, we need to think
We have a lot to
bigger.
think
I'm
about.
like, I'm going to think this weekend about some ways to.
I think the Elphaba thing is the answer for me.
That is so unhinged, though. You
And
do
I don't
understand.
I don't want a ceremonial amount. I want
all of it.
100%.
I know. You're like, I'm actually going to gain weight before I go so that there's more
like
ashes.
a pound of ashes scattered all across the stage.
Remind me not
and
to
then
go
I
to
would
Wicked
get
that way. That day.
I would love. And then I would get swept up by like the crew member's shop vac and emptied into a dumpster in New York City, which is like so on brand.
No, that actually like tracks. I'll be in the
that brings
septic.
me
You're
such
in
joy.
the
Okay,
garbage.
Mark Platt, David Stone.
Si se puede. So true.
Put me in. Put me in, babies. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I don't know how I would navigate that.
Well,
maybe
we
a little
can
bit
get
of me in the
someone
Hudson.
charge.
You know,
you'll probably end up there anyway if you're going into the New York City trash. Like, I'm sure we could arrange that.
I'll probably die in the Hudson too at this point.
Well, you have an expanded back, so you're gonna die at Lady Bird Lake.
Lady Bird Lake, the lake of my dreams.
We know.
Wow. On that note, what a killer time I had with you, Ashley. Get it? Killer time.
Enough with the puns.
That was
Enough.
so fun.
I know. I loved that. I want to read that book.
Oh. Okay, we'll get on it.
I forget the
I don't
name
like
of
reading.
it. I know you don't.
But
I'll
you tell me all about it.
For you.
Ashley, I am out of breath. As always, another day, another dollar here on Wildly Unprepared. If you liked what you saw, and God knows you did, make sure you get this podcast wherever you get podcasts. Like it, share it, subscribe. Holla at your girl.
Blow it out of cannon if you can.
5-star review. Blow it out of a cannon. And as always, you can follow me online at Tyler G. Mount. Love you, Ashley.
Love you.
I love you most.
Love you mostest.
Love you most.
Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Can't wait to get cremated with you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Why did we both do that?
Wait, did you do it too?
I said I can't wait to be cremated with you. He said I can't wait to share a coffin. I was like, we both did it at the same time.
Twins. Love you most.
Love you mostest. Don't stop. Don't stop the beat. Don't stop. Don't stop the beat. I'm waiting for you to stop pressing record because I need to get the last I love you.
Love you most.
Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Love you most. Love you most.
Love you most.
I love you more.
Wildly Unprepared is hosted by me, Tyler Mount, and Ashley Enterbag, executive produced by Kate McGarrigle in collaboration with Henry Street Creative. Please be sure to give us a 5-star rating on your preferred platform and tell your friends that you just found their newest obsession. We love you so much, and we couldn't do this show without you. Okay, I'm nervous and I don't know how to finish this, so you should just shut this off now. Is anyone still with me? Just my mom? Okay, bye, Yvonne.